Pick up a Lego brick made today. Now find one from your parents' childhood, or maybe even your grandparents. Snap them together. They'll fit perfectly. Think about that for a second. Phones become outdated every few years. Cars are redesigned almost every year. Computers quickly become obsolete. But somehow, a tiny plastic brick designed more than 70 years ago still connects perfectly with one that came out of a factory this morning. That shouldn't be possible. So how did Lego solve a problem that almost every company in history has failed to solve? And if the patent expired years ago, why hasn't another company built something better? The answer isn't what most people think. It isn't because Lego has the best marketing. It isn't because of luck. The real answer is hidden inside every single Lego brick. And once you see it, you'll never look at one the same way again. To understand why, we need to travel back to Denmark in the middle of one of the hardest economic periods the world had ever seen. In 1932, a carpenter named Ole Kirk Christiansen was struggling just to keep his small workshop alive. The Great Depression had destroyed businesses across Europe, and furniture was no longer something many families could afford. Customers disappeared almost overnight. Every day became a fight to earn enough money to survive. Most people would have accepted defeat. Ole didn't. Instead of building expensive furniture, he began making small wooden toys, ducks, cars, pull-along animals, anything that parents could still afford to buy for their children. So, every toy was carved carefully by hand because Ole believed something simple. If a product carries your name, it should be made as well as possible. That belief would eventually become Lego's most valuable asset, even though nobody realized it at the time. A few years later, Ole decided his company needed a proper name. He combined two Danish words, leg godt, which mean play well. Together they became Lego. It was a simple name, but it perfectly matched his philosophy. The goal wasn't just to sell toys, the goal was to inspire imagination. Then disaster struck. A fire ripped through the workshop, destroying years of hard work in a single night. Machines were gone, tools were gone. The building itself was badly damaged. Most small businesses would never recover from a loss like that. Ole rebuilt everything. That decision became part of Lego's DNA. Whenever something went wrong, the answer wasn't to quit. The answer was to build again. Years passed, and something new began appearing across Europe. Plastic. At the time, most toy manufacturers thought it was cheap, ugly, and unreliable. Wooden toys had been trusted for generations. Why would anyone replace them with plastic? But Ole's son, Gottfried Christiansen, saw something everyone else ignored. Plastic could be molded with incredible precision. If every piece came out exactly the same, it opened the door to something completely new. The company took one of the biggest financial risks in its history and bought an expensive plastic injection molding machine. For a small business, it was an enormous gamble. Friends questioned the decision. Competitors laughed. Many believed Lego was abandoning quality for a cheaper material. At first, it looked like they were right. The company's first plastic building bricks weren't very good. They stacked on top of each other, but they didn't actually stay together. Pick up your creation, and the pieces often separated. Build something too tall, and it became unstable. Children liked the idea, but they became frustrated because their creations kept falling apart. Imagine spending hours building a castle only for it to collapse the moment you tried to move it. For many companies, that would have been the end of the experiment. Lego refused to give up. Instead of asking, "Should we stop making these bricks?" they asked a much more important question. What is the one thing preventing this toy from becoming perfect? That question changed everything. Engineers began studying every part of the brick. They measured it. They tested different designs. They experimented with new shapes. Tiny adjustments were made over and over again, but nothing seemed to solve the problem completely. Then someone noticed something almost unbelievably small. The problem wasn't on the outside of the brick, it was underneath it. One tiny change, hidden where almost nobody would ever look, would transform a frustrating toy into one of the greatest product designs in history. And that tiny change is still inside every Lego brick you can buy today. The answer was surprisingly simple. Lego engineers added a series of hollow tubes underneath each brick. From the outside, almost nothing had changed. But when two bricks were pressed together, the studs on top gripped those tubes with just the right amount of force. Strong enough to hold a model together, yet loose enough for children to pull apart with their hands. That tiny invention completely transformed the toy. In 1958, Lego patented the new design. It wasn't just another building block anymore. It had become a true building system, where every piece worked perfectly with every other piece. But here's the incredible part. More than 65 years later, that same connection system is still being used today. A brick made in the 1950s can still connect perfectly with one made this year. To make that possible, Lego manufactures every brick with astonishing precision. The acceptable manufacturing error is only a few thousandths of a millimeter. If a brick is even slightly too large, it won't fit. If it's slightly too small, it won't stay together. Every machine is constantly monitored to keep every piece almost perfectly identical. That's why Lego bricks feel so satisfying to snap together. Then, something happened that should have ended Lego's dominance forever. The patent expired. Suddenly, any company in the world could legally produce compatible bricks. Competitors appeared everywhere, often selling similar products for much lower prices. So why didn't Lego disappear? Because people weren't just buying plastic bricks, they were buying trust. Parents knew that every Lego set would fit perfectly with the sets they already owned. Builders knew they could combine pieces collected over decades. Children knew that every birthday or holiday gift would expand the worlds they had already created, instead of replacing them. That kind of confidence can't be copied overnight. Lego also understood something many companies still struggle to understand. They weren't selling toys, they were selling creativity. From medieval castles and pirate ships to spaceships, giant cities, and famous landmarks, every set became the beginning of a new story. Then came partnerships with Star Wars, Harry Potter, Marvel, Minecraft, and dozens of other worlds. They even made movies and popular TV series like Ninjago, introducing Lego to entirely new generations. Today, Lego is one of the most recognizable brands on Earth, producing billions of bricks every year while staying true to the same idea that started everything: build well. It's amazing to think that the secret wasn't hidden in some revolutionary technology or billion-dollar marketing campaign. It was hidden inside a tiny plastic brick, a design so carefully engineered that it has survived generations without becoming obsolete. Maybe that's why Lego has lasted for more than 90 years, because while almost every product is designed to be replaced, Lego was designed to fit in the past, today, and decades into the future. The next time you snap two Lego bricks together, remember, you're connecting more than plastic. You're connecting to one of the greatest product designs ever created. Thanks for watching, and if you want more videos like this, subscribe. See you in the next one.